Hello, hope you're well, healthy, happy, you and your family and your loved ones. This is the fourth session in the class on integral complementary energy psychology. And I'd like to remind you again that I'm going to share with you what I believe and what I have found to be useful, but you always need to respect your own beliefs and your own thoughts and your own heart. We're going to talk about energy psychology for anxiety. We're going to do a separate class on fear. Anxiety is a form of fear, but we're going to talk about other kinds of fear separately. I remind you to download the PDF for the class, the ebook, which you will find all the information, most of the information that I will be sharing with you. I'd like to start out with Abraham Maslow's pyramid of needs. Abraham Maslow was a psychologist and professor of psychology at Harvard University, the founder of humanistic psychology, in which he explains that people need to fulfill earlier needs, more basic needs, before they can move on to fulfill more higher needs, as he calls them. So first, we need to be able to survive, to have food, water, oxygen. Then we need safety, a home to protect us. And then we need to belong to some kind of a group. It could be a church or any kind of group of people, even a sports group. And then we need self-esteem. We need to be respected by that group. We want to be something important to that group. And when we have filled all of these needs, then we feel the need for self-actualization. Now, you may have started out this class just seeking to solve problems, but eventually I hope that you will decide that you really want self-actualization. You can do the course just for solving problems. No problem with that. But I think our purpose here in life is to actualize our higher aspects. We'll talk about it another time. Now, I'd like to describe 13 qualities that Abraham Maslow discovered when he studied self actualized persons. What he said was our psychology to today, based uh, predominantly on Freud, is a psychology based on ill people, people that are not well. I want to study people that are well and very well, and he called them self-actualized persons. You'll find this information on page 4 in your pamphlet. So what are these qualities? Superior perception of reality, less distortion through fears, complexes, and emotions. They see more clearly. They're less subjective, more objective. Secondly, greater acceptance of themselves and of others. And that, of course, brings peace. So that they're able to accept themselves and accept others as they are. Thirdly, increased spontaneity. They're able to flow with events, changing situations, follow inner guidance. Fourthly, increased problem centering, the ability to go to the center of the problem, not on the periphery. So these people, which I hope is you also, and I believe that we can become these people, self-actualized persons, that we have increased ability to solve problems. And energy psychology really helps us with that. Increased attachment and desire for privacy. So these people tended to be less attached, less dependent, for example, on other people or on situations outside of themselves. Increased autonomy and resistance to enculturation. That is, they thought for themselves, as I asked you to do in the classes until now. Listen to everyone. Everyone is, in some way, the universe speaking to us. But we also need to follow our own inner voice. So they're not robots programmed by society. Greater freshness of appreciation and richness of emotional reaction. So there's greater sense of gratitude. They have more positive feelings. They can feel other people and situations. A higher frequency of peak experiences. Now, this was interesting what he found. Peak experiences are experiences where people lost the sense of separateness from others and from their surroundings. And they felt a unity, an expansion of self, in which they became united with all beings and all plants and whatever was around them. This is a very interesting phenomenon that he found, and he found that these people had this experience more than the usual people. Increased identification with the human species, and consequently, less identification with the personal ego. So these people cared more for the whole, and they weren't so locked up into themselves. They could hear the needs of other people and were interested in participating and helping in some way. Changed, and he adds here, the clinician would say improved personal relationships. Here I've written together, not the same. We don't have to be the same to be together. We don't have to agree to love each other. And so in this analysis, he found that these people had improved personal relationships with the people. More democratic character structure. Here we see a parent actually listening to a child. So these people did not need to play the dictator. They were able to listen to people around them and function in a democratic way. And greatly increased creativeness. They were able to create much more easily, had minds that were freer, able to combine different ideas, different situations, either to solve problems or to create whatever it was, from a painting to an organization. Okay. And lastly, certain changes in the value system. Here I've placed the image of someone giving more importance to the heart than to money, something we hope that most companies will do in the future. Now you'll find all of these on page 4 of your pamphlet, the 13 qualities of self-actualized persons after the study or from the study of Abraham Maslow, a professor of psychology at Harvard University. So the conclusion here is that these people have greater inner peace, inner satisfaction, more selfless love, freedom to be themselves, and greater inner guidance. This is what we are looking for. And I believe that this course is going to help us in that process. Now here is a diagram showing how emotions, tension or peace, can affect our body. They affect, first of all, the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus, and then the adrenals, and then all the other organs. So whether we feel peace or tension, these emotions are affecting our brain, affecting our adrenals, and all of the other organs. Now, what is anxiety? Anxiety is the fear that we or our loved ones will not have the results we need in order to feel worthy, safe, free, happy, in control, abundant, whatever that means, whatever your needs may be. Anxiety is the fear that we or our loved ones will not be able to satisfy these basic needs. Now, a short review. Basic concepts of this course, that we are the creators of our reality. We create our reality in two ways. And first of all, our challenge is to create with our free will a harmonious, happy, and loving reality. And when we worry about what we don't have or fear that we will not have it in the future, then we lose everything that we have. So we could either feel unhappy because we don't have something and ignore everything that we have, or we can worry that we may not have something in the future and again lose everything that we have. And it's a shame to do this. So if we are not sure that we will have everything that we want in the future, we have two solutions. One solution is to learn to be happy with our lives as they are, at least until we change them. Is to be happy with the present situation. Energy psychology is very effective at this. Or to create the lives that we want. So two possibilities. Now we have talked about the effect of emotions on our health, and I have mentioned in the first class studies by Dean Ornish and other studies by the Heart Math Institute, how our emotions affect our health. This is my book, The Psychology of Happiness. You can get it on Amazon or perhaps from this platform. Also, I am willing to send it to you free as a PDF file for you because you're following this course. So there are three ways to be happy. One is to manifest our goals and needs, and we will have a class on that, a session on that. Become happy, be happy while working on manifesting what we want, or learn to be happy even if we don't manifest. So these are our three possibilities that we're working on. Now you will remember we talked about freeze frame in the Heart Math Institute and the electromagnetic field of the heart. And this diagram will help us. The field of the heart is actually 50 times stronger than the field of the brain. And so the field of the heart is affecting the field of the brain. So what happens here? Our beliefs create our emotions. Our emotions affect our heart and many other organs, which affect our brain, which affects our mind, which affects our perceptions, which affects our emotions. So we're caught up in a vicious circle here between beliefs, emotions, the functioning of the heart brain, and then the mind and the perceptions. We want to get free from this circle. We have also mentioned that love and gratitude create a harmonious rhythm in the heart, whereas anger and frustration create a spasmodic rhythm in the heart, which then affects the brain. So by calming ourselves, and this is from the Heart Math Institute by employing the freeze frame method, but my experience is that all the other methods that you're going to be learning have a similar effect. That we will have greater focus, more easily be able to sleep, more calmness, less anxiety, less fatigue, and less depression. We have all of these possibilities by employing the various forms of energy psychology. Now, they have found that 5 minutes of negative emotions diminishes the effectiveness of our immune system for 5 hours. And 5 minutes of love and gratitude can enhance the effectiveness of our immune system for 5 hours. And that feeling love and peace help to harmonize the functioning of the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. So our emotions are affecting our health, our relationships, our clarity, our effectiveness, and our lives. And we have to remember that, as we mentioned earlier, beliefs can alter natural laws. People are walking on hot coals simply because they believe the coals will not burn them. They're creating a different reality. I have witnessed this. And I have witnessed scientists with their thermometers measuring the coals and then watching the cold walkers, the fire walkers walk on them and shaking their head. How can this be possible? These coals are very hot. They are measuring them with their special thermometers. So this is a reality. Beliefs can also alter natural laws. For some reason, we're spiraling here. Okay. The law of attraction says that we actually attract realities that have to do with the emotions that we have, especially our strong emotions. So we attract what we love, what we appreciate and feel gratitude towards, but we also attract what we fear or have anxiety about or reject or even hate. So we attract with our strongest emotions. So I suggest that with this course, we can create a reality based on positive emotions. Emotions such as love, happiness, gratitude, appreciation. Why not? Is there some reason not to love, be happy, feel gratitude, appreciate? The more we feel these emotions, the more we attract realities which create these emotions, which enhance these emotions, which means healing the first two belief systems of traumatic experiences and false childhood assumptions so that we can experience people's behaviors in life with our logic and our faith. So we want to alter our perceptions of ourselves, of others, and events and situations. Now remember that the basis of all pain, of all suffering, of all fear is based on attachment. And this monkey is so attached to the banana that it won't let go of it. And the hunter comes and picks him up because the bottle is attached to a rock or to a tree. He doesn't think of letting go of the banana. And the other monkey is just saying, just let go. So we are suffering and limiting our happiness because we are attached to our children's future, to our parents' acceptance, to our spouse's agreement, to our specific physical appearance, a specific economic situation or professional situation. And we're not allowing ourselves. It's not that we can't be happy, we're not allowing ourselves to be happy. And this causes us to suffer because this man who's holding the cat by its tail is suffering. The cat is scratching him. The only thing he needs to do is to let go of the attachment of the other person agreeing with me, the attachment of the other person functioning in the way that I need them to function in order to feel my self-worth or security. Now, there are different kinds of attachments that we have in order to feel worthy, in order to feel safe, free, successful, or believe that we cannot or should not be happy without those attachments. Now, we suggest that we transform attachments to preferences. I want this person to agree with me. I'll do whatever I can to create what I want, the appearance I want, the health that I want, the financial situation that I want, but I can also be happy without it. So that's the difference between an attachment and a preference. When it's attachment, I can't be happy without it, or I fear that I can't be happy without it. With a preference, I want it, I do whatever I can to create it, but I know I can also be happy without it. Now, about anxiety. We will work on fear, other kinds of fear, in another lesson. So, now again, accept this if you believe it, don't accept it if you don't believe it. I believe that we are spirit, and our body is like the lamp, okay? Like the light bulb. And so our body is the light bulb, and we are the current which is flowing through the light bulb. And we, as the current, are independent of the light bulb, right? So this bulb is wondering about the other light bulb. They're saying, well, maybe they're more worthy than me, or maybe they're stronger than me, or happier than me, when actually the light bulb is nothing but a vehicle for the expression of the current. We are the current. We don't die when the light bulb is over. And our self-worth is not dependent on the particular body because it's the same current in all of the light bulbs or even the other machines that are working on the same current. So one thing is the current, which is like the spirit, and the other thing is the lamp, which is like the body. We'll talk about this in more detail later on. So where does our anxiety come from? First of all, from the ignorance of what we really are. I believe that we are actually spirit. okay, perhaps divine beings, if you like. We don't feel that. When we are born, we lose that awareness, and we identify almost exclusively or totally exclusively with the body and mind. The moment we identify with the body and mind, we fear, because we fear the end of the body, and we fear the pain of the body, and we fear the pain of the mind, that is losing someone that we love or being rejected, and the fear of losing the mind. So we fear the body. Once we're attached to the body and mind, our fear is increased. When our fear is increased, our attachment is increased. And so the more attachments that we have, the less able we're able to be happy, because we fear that we're not going to be able to fulfill those attachments. So we doubt we're able to have the love that we want, the security that we want, people accepting us. So we have more anxiety. So fear creates attachment creates doubt, and more anxiety. And this anxiety creates more pain and much more. So we become like this man here, quite sought with anxiety. So we feel anxiety, discomfort, worry, fear. This could even develop into panic, which we're going to work on in another lesson. And of course, all of this ruins our health, but also ruins our relationships. So we have less clarity, less concentration, lesser results, focus, peace, happiness. We're blinded by this anxiety. And this affects our relationships, our work, our health, our happiness, everything in our lives. So I don't know about you, but I want to be free. And I am much freer now than I was at that time. Now, anxiety has to do with time and results. One form of anxiety is that we're not going to get someplace or finish some project in time. And that, of course, is a result. So it's all about results. So we fear not being able to get there on time, and we fear that the results may not be the ones that we believe we need in order to be worthy or safe or loved by other ones or happy. So we feel the anxiety because we're afraid that we will not arrive or finish on time, or that the results will not be what we believe. Believe is an important word here. We must have to be safe or worthy or loved and accepted according to our social beliefs. Now, we worry and feel anxiety with the thought that what we believe must happen may not happen. This is what anxiety is all about. Now, it could be for ourselves or for our children, our spouse, our parents, or other persons that we're identified with. The anxiety is not only about us. It could be about finances, about health, others' opinions, our physical appearance, or any effort that we're involved in trying to succeed at something, learn something, create something. So there could be anxiety in all of these situations, perhaps about our work or our responsibilities. We may be feeling anxiety. It doesn't have to be work out of the house or work for money. It could be any responsibility that we have. We can have anxiety about that, or anxiety about getting somewhere on time or finishing in time. Many people in cities have this anxiety. Anxiety about whether the result of our effort will be what we believe it needs to be in order to be a success, whatever that means for each person, accepted and respected by others, and worthy of love and acceptance. We are programmed to believe that we need certain results in order to be worthy and loved. And we're going to do a separate class on self-acceptance. We need to get rid of these illusions. Anxiety or fear about making correct decisions. Another form of anxiety. We have so many options in our reality today. Options about health, financial options, relationships, life choices. The more choices we have, perhaps the more anxiety we have. There was a time when people didn't have these choices. So we may have anxiety about choice making. Now, why would we want to let go of anxiety? Some answers to that question. I will be more peaceful. I have understood now that it doesn't help me. I don't know if you find the opposite. I find it doesn't help me. I will actually even be more focused and more capable by letting go of anxiety. I will have better health and my relationships will improve. I will have better concentration and problem-solving abilities. I will enjoy life much more than I would with anxiety. You can't have anxiety and enjoy life. They're opposites. So you need to let go of anxiety to enjoy life. I will be happier and I will grow spiritually. Now, important question. Why is it okay, logical, safe, and in my benefit to feel safe, secure, and peaceful even when I don't have a lot of money, even if I'm alone, even if I've made a mistake, even if someone is angry with me, even if I am ill? Can you understand? There are certain situations in which we actually believe we shouldn't feel safe. We shouldn't feel secure or peaceful. We need to be upset. If we see someone who is upset, not upset, when something horrible is happening, we think there's something wrong with that person. But this is not the way it needs to be. We're not going to be more effective because we're upset. So we're going to talk about reasons why it's okay, even if you don't have the money you need today, to feel peaceful and work towards making the money you need in a peaceful and optimistic way. Even if you've just gone through a divorce, even if your loved one is ill, you're not helping your loved one with your anxiety. You're not making money with your anxiety. It would be great if we got paid for being anxious. Why is there no actual benefit to be gained by feeling anxiety, even when things are not as we would like them to be, and even though, for example, we have made mistakes or lost our money? What are some of the reasons I can feel safe and secure in relationship to? Now here, I would like you to choose a specific anxiety that you have. It could be about health, finances, relationships, exams, if you're taking exams, something you're trying to create, a project that you have. Choose now a specific anxiety that you have. And the question is, what are some of the reasons I can feel safe and secure in relationship to that? Again, don't accept what I'm going to tell you now. Listen to it. Listen to what I have to say. I've been studying reality 50 years, more than 50, about 55. I'm 75 now, and I started when I was 20. And I believe what I'm telling you, but I don't want you to believe simply because I believe it. So think about it, though. So, because I have done and will do the best I can in this situation. This is all that is asked of us. The only thing we can do is the best we can and just leave the results to the universe. That's all we can do. Because anxiety and fear do not solve problems. They may create an initial energy towards solving problems. Okay, I just feel a small anxiety, and now I leave the anxiety and direct my energy to solving the problem. They don't benefit anyone. Because fear and anxiety actually attract more of what we are anxious about through the law of attraction. So by fearing something, I'm actually increasing the possibility that that will be there. Because I prefer to act and seek solutions with clarity and optimism rather than worrying and fearing. Okay, so I choose clarity, seeking solutions, focusing on what I can do rather than being paralyzed by anxiety. Because I choose to do whatever I can towards creating the reality I prefer while feeling peaceful and optimistic about the result. Interesting play on these two words. Remove the M from possible and the T from can't. Let's do that. Because think about this now, because I have feared and worried so many times in the past, and 95% of those times what I feared did not happen. Think about it. How many times you have felt anxiety or fear for your children, for your spouse, for yourself, and what you feared was going to happen did not happen. And my reality is 95% and more. And even in that 5%, where something that I feared was going to happen did happen, I was able to overcome it. So we can learn by experience. Think about that experience. Because only the effort is under my control and not the result. The only thing we can control is our effort to make the best effort we can. This is what I suggest. Let's make our best effort and let's have faith that the universe is going to give us the best result for our evolutionary process. Okay, it seems to be functioning again. Sorry about that. Because with inner peace and clarity, I have much better results. Because positive thinking and gratitude that each outcome will be the best for me is the most effective way for creating my desired reality. Positive thinking and gratitude that the outcome will be the most effective for me. Because all events, results, and situations are opportunities for learning, growth, and deeper contact with our true inner nature. Forget the mistake, remember the lesson. Wayne Dyer has said, experience is what I get when I don't get results. And Thomas Edison, they say, had to try 10,000 possible lamps before he got one to work. So each time he learned how not to make a lamp. So it's important to understand that even when we don't get the results that we want, we are learning, and we have the possibility of learning. We also have the possibility of feeling angry, upset, and unhappy. This is our free will. Now, again, accept these phrases if you like, don't accept them if you don't. Because I am a spirit, and this reality is temporary experiment through which I am learning. There's all a learning process. We're learning how to deal with this physical reality and to create the most positive reality that we can. Because I and my loved ones have within ourselves the power and wisdom to overcome our challenges as growth and use our challenges as growth opportunities. So overcoming obstacles and using challenges. So every difficult situation in our life, every obstacle is there for us to overcome or go around or go under or go above, and also to grow through that. Because universal laws allow only the highest good for myself and my loved one as evolving souls. This may be pleasant at times or unpleasant at other times. Now, this is your choice. If you want to believe that there are universal laws, I believe them. I must say that as a scientist, I am a chemical engineer. I see that there are laws governing everything in the world, in the physical world, in the chemical world, in the biological world. We see laws functioning. Why do we doubt that there are laws functioning which are creating what each human experiences? Why should the human being life, why should our life be different from everything else? I believe that there are laws governing what happens to each of us. And in some future lesson, I will share with you what I believe, and you can accept it or not. Because we're all creations or projections of the divine being, each of us, like a ray of the divine. Because our self-worth and security are immutable aspects of our divine essential nature. We don't need to do something to be worthy or secure. These are our being who is worthy. Because I believe in a loving universe that will allow only what is in my greatest good to occur. Now, this greater good is not always pleasant. Sometimes it's a challenge through which, however, I grow, which is my purpose for being in these temporary bodies. Because I have faith that I will be okay irregardless of the outcome. Now, we all want a happy outcome. We always want, health, happiness, money, abundance, love. And I agree with you. Let's visualize these and let's create these, manifest the happiest reality that we can. But when, through the wisdom of the universe or our higher selves, something different from that happens, let's have faith that this is a growth opportunity, and the first part of this growth opportunity is to learn to be happy even with that outcome. Because I have faith that every outcome will be the best for my evolutionary process. And because I am the creator of my reality and I can manifest my needs. We're going to do a separate lesson on manifesting needs. Because all great teachings promise that if we live our lives according to our conscience, then our real needs will be taken care of. We don't have to worry about survival. Just live an moral life, help people around us, behave towards others as we would like them to behave to us. And I believe this, and I'm sure of it, that our basic needs will be taken care of. Or also because these bodies and physical lives are only temporary, and we're going to leave this reality anyway. So why amass inheritance and so much money and fame and things when we're going to be leaving here anyway? So let's create the best possible life with the greatest happiness, with the greatest amount of love and connection with people around us. And let's know that anyway, we're here temporarily, and we're going to continue on to a higher, more free realm of existence. Because we can actually manifest what we need by imagining that we already have it and feeling grateful for what we already have and also for what is surely coming. I've shared with you here the book, The Secret. You can also see it as a movie if you haven't seen it, a video, book and video, The Secret. The method for manifesting what we need by visualizing that we already have it and feeling the emotions that we have, that now that we already have in our minds at this point, what we actually want. And because love is always the solution in every situation. So returning now to energy psychology, here are the techniques that we're using. We already did EFT last week and BSFF, and we did brain balancing. We'll be working with the other techniques as we move on. So now in a few minutes, we're going to do these techniques on the emotion of anxiety. We're going to employ EFT, BSFF, Sedona method, and brain balancing. We'll leave Ho'oponopono and TAT for the next time. We start by evaluating the intensity of our anxiety or fear or other emotion. We accept that we are feeling those emotions and accept ourselves feeling those emotions. Then we let go. We accept letting go. Now, letting go is not pushing away. It's not overcoming. It's letting something go by itself. So we let it go. And then we will be tapping on the acupuncture points that you learned last time. And so we're going to focus on the emotion, accept it, accept ourselves having it. Remember other times we have felt that way. Accept that our mind has this tendency. Make the agreement with the subconscious, pain body, inner child, higher self, divine. You can eliminate any of these that you prefer not to focus on. To be freed, healed of all known and unknown obstacles to health, happiness, peace, clarity, love, and evolution. Here's a possible phrase: dearest subconscious, inner child, pain body, higher self, and divine being. Thank you for healing and removing all known and unknown obstacles to experiencing my true nature of peace, happiness, and love, even in this situation where we're having anxiety, and every other situation in the present and the future. Then we'll be rubbing on the source point as we did last week, And then on the other side, saying, even though until now I have felt, even when or because I love and accept myself 3 times. And then on the other side, I choose to be free from this. I deserve to be free. I accept to be free. It's in my benefit to be free. Then we employ the tapping process for the EFT and the BSFF, and then we'll be doing the brain balancing and perhaps the Sadhana method in the middle. And these are the points, as you remember for last time, tapping up the back of the head, then over the top of the head, going quickly because we did this last time, on the points of the face. Hope you did this during the week, and then the points on the body. And then we're going to do BSFF, focusing on pain at the eyebrows, fear or anxiety at the cheeks, guilt at the index finger, anger at the small finger, trauma between the eyebrows again, forgiving ourselves at the index finger, and forgiving others at the smaller finger. And then we'll do the brain balancing with the right ankle over the left, the right wrist over the left, and we bring to mind beliefs, perceptions, perhaps those that we've already mentioned, which allow us to let go of our anxiety or fear and feel safe and relaxed and confident. And then we place the left ankle and we'll focus on ourselves feeling that piece of peace and sense of being sure for ourselves. Then we place our hands on our hearts and we'll be focusing on letting go. Some may need to work with the inner child, but that we'll be doing in the future. Okay, so choose an emotion that you would like to be free from, and this time we're going to choose anxiety or worry, and we're going to perform the exercise. It's better for you to be alone in the room. Close your phone or other possible obstacles towards focusing. If necessary, use headphones so others cannot hear. You can sit with your spine straight and follow my instructions. So, sorry about that. Now we're going to focus on working with that. Okay. So you can sit with your spine straight. Focus on your breathing. As you breathe, straighten your spine. Deep breaths. With each breath, feel your spine straightening and your body relaxing. Now, let your shoulders be relaxed and the face. And let's bring to mind situations in which we feel anxiety or worry. It could be in relationship to finances or health issues or relationships, work or projects. Could have to do with ourselves or with other people. Now choose a certain stimulus and let's feel the emotions that we usually have when we're in the presence of that stimulus or when we think about it. Experience the emotions. What are they? And remember, if there are other times when you have felt this way, In which other situations have you felt this way? Perhaps you can remember childhood experiences, situations in childhood where you may have felt this way. Now let us accept that our mind has the tendency to feel these emotions. And let's accept ourselves. Now if you choose, you can make the agreement with the subconscious, the pain body, the inner child, our higher self, in the divine, to be freed from every illusion, every attachment or fear, every obstacle to experiencing peace, happiness, love, self-worth, security in this situation and every other situation. Okay, now we will perform the EFT by rubbing on the sore spot with the right hand on the left side, saying verbally or mentally, even though until now I have felt, and we mentioned the emotion, probably anxiety, fear, worry, I love myself. Even though until now I have felt, we mentioned the emotion, when or because, and we mentioned the situation, I love and accept myself. One more time. Even though until now I have felt, we mentioned the emotion, when or because we mentioned the stimulus, I love and accept myself. Now with the left hand on the right side, I choose to be free from, and we mentioned the emotion, in relationship to, and we mentioned the stimulus. I accept to be free, or I choose to be free, or it's in my benefit to be free. Okay, now that we have done that, we start the tapping procedure at the back of the neck as we're focused on the stimulus and the emotion, coming up to the top of the head, coming now to the forehead, and going to the side of the head, and back to the bottom of the neck, and coming up again, coming forward, changing the energy, now to the forehead, now with 2 fingers on the bridge of the nose, coming back to the temples and behind the ears, coming forward under the eyes, on the cheekbones, then up above and below the lips, under the arms, under the armpits, under the collarbone, on the wrists, and the sides of the hand. And now again, bottom of the neck, coming up, top of the head, forehead, side of the head, going down, coming back up the back of the head to the top of the head, forehead, at the bridge of the nose, on the temples, behind the ears, under the eyes. We have in our minds the emotion and the stimulus, above and below the lips, under the arms, on the collarbone, just below the collarbone, on the wrists, side of the hand. One more time, having in mind the stimulus and the emotions, back of the neck coming up, top of the head, forehead, side of the head, the bottom of the neck again coming up, stimulating the energy flow, coming to the forehead with 2 fingers at the bridge of the nose, temples, going behind the ears, under the eyes and the cheekbones, focusing on the emotion, above and below the lips, under the arms, collarbones, wrists, side of the hand. Okay, now sit with the spine straight. Close your eyes for a bit. Relax. Take a few deep breaths. Focus on the stimulus. Observe what you feel now. Let's accept whatever we feel. It could be more intense, less intense, not at all, something different. Accept whatever you feel. And we remember the agreement with the subconscious, pain body, inner child, higher self, the divine, that we're willing to let go of all roots, all causes of our inability to feel peace, happiness, and love in all situations. And now we're going to do the BSFF method. You can focus on what I am doing and repeat after me, verbally or mentally. So we're tapping here on the eyebrow point. In relationship to this situation, repeat after me, I'm letting go of all pain and all roots of pain in the subconscious, in this dimension, and all dimensions. Now at the cheekbones. In relationship to this situation, I'm letting go of all fear and anxiety and all roots and causes of fear and anxiety in the subconscious, in this dimension, and every other dimension. Now the index finger. In relationship to this situation, I'm letting go of all guilt, all self-rejection, all shame, and all roots and causes of guilt, self-rejection, or shame in the subconscious, in this dimension, and all other dimensions. Small finger. In relationship to this situation, I'm letting go of all anger and all roots and causes of anger in the subconscious, from this dimension and all other dimensions. Now at the bridge of the nose again. In relationship to this situation, I'm letting go of all trauma and all roots and causes of trauma in the subconscious, in this dimension and all other dimensions. Index finger. I forgive myself for all involvement in this situation. I have always done the best I could at that time, and I am doing the best I can. Small finger. I'm forgiving others for all involvement in this situation. They too have done the best they could with their illusions, their fears, their childhood experiences. You can now sit with the spine straight and close the eyes. Let's take a few deep breaths again. Let's allow the abdomen to relax. Let's allow the solar plexus to relax. Let's allow the shoulders to relax. And the arms, even the fingers. Now let us allow our face to relax. The jaw relaxes. The cheeks relax. The eyes relax. And the forehead relaxes. And we're going to perform the method Sedona method. We bring the stimulus again to mind. We focus on what we feel. While focusing on what we feel, we accept whatever we feel. And we accept ourselves feeling that way. It's natural. And we realize that we are not our emotions. We are the observers of our emotions. We are witnessing our emotions. And that our emotions are like small pockets of energy. And we allow them to expand just as waves in a lake when we throw a small pebble. Expand, and as they expand, they dissipate. They become less. Expanding, dissipating, dissolving, leaving our body. Expanding and leaving our energy field. Expanding and leaving our mind. And let us experience ourselves free from the emotion. Now let us realize which needs were causing those emotions. Was it a need for self-worth, for safety, for freedom, perhaps control, pleasure? Which needs was our mind afraid we're not going to be satisfied here? And let's accept that our mind is programmed to fear that these needs are in danger. And let us accept the light which flows through the mind and removes this doubt, removes every doubt about our self-worth, our safety, allows us to experience our inner self-worth and our safety. letting go of the need, feeling our self-worth, feeling security, feeling strong and powerful. Feeling free from those emotions. And now we're going to do the brain balancing by placing the right ankle on the left, the right wrist on the left, immersion the fingers and turning the arms inside out and relaxing in that position. No tension, relaxed. And bringing to mind or accepting in our minds a new way of thinking, an alternative belief or truth which allows us to feel safe, to feel secure, regardless of the situation. So what is the belief that you want to strengthen, want to remember, which frees you from fear? Experience that truth, not only as an idea, but as an emotion, as an energy feeling the body and mind. Experience the freedom that this truth brings, that you are safe, you are worthy. Experience it physically, in all of your body. Now, let us bring to mind a second truth or alternative perception, which allows us to relax, to feel safe, free from worry, from anxiety. Let's focus on that new perception and let us experience it as a vibration, as an energy that fills the mind and body. Allow it to relax us. Now, we can change the position of the ankles and the wrists, playing the left, facing the left above. And let us bring to mind the stimulus. And as we focus on it, let us feel a sense of peace, light, strength, security, feeling powerful, feeling peaceful. Feeling worthy on all levels, feeling the power of our beings, Feel that light in all the body, a sense of strength and peace. Now we can bring our palms to the center of the chest. You can place your feet as you like. And let's feel that position of unity with ourselves. Feeling close to ourselves, accepting ourselves, caring for ourselves, accepting and loving ourselves as we are. Accepting and loving ourselves as we are at this stage of our evolutionary process. Now you can remain in this state as long as you feel comfortable. And if you have time, feeling peace, feeling worthy, feeling safe. And later, when you choose to come to the surface, when you choose to continue your activities, whenever that is, seek to contain those feelings, to hold those feelings, to feel safe, secure, and worthy. We'll see you in the next lesson.